Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another rendition of the Halo Effect. Robert Lockhart here with you. Hey, let's talk some baseball, huh? Well, winter meetings are coming up. Of course, what's the big topic? Shohei Ohtani. Where's he going to sign? Does he go to the Dodgers? Does he go to the Giants? Does he go to the Cubs? Or does he stay with the Angels? All are possibilities at this point in time. People are saying that the front runner is the Dodgers. Not entirely sure why. Why? Because they got the money? Well, hey, you know what? The Angels got money too. And all of them have money. It just depends where he wants to go. I mean, do you really think he likes the glitz and glamour of Hollywood? I don't think so. If he did, he would have signed with the Dodgers when he came over 6 years ago, don't you think? So, anything's a possibility. We really don't know at this point in time. So, all we really need to do is just find out. Should be within the next few days, from what I understand. Now, elsewhere, we've had some signings, smaller signings. I've already mentioned Aaron Nola went back to the Phillies. The Cardinals have been a little bit active. They've signed Lance Lynn. They've signed Kyle Gibson, both to one-year deals. And they've gone ahead and signed Sonny Gray, who has always really wanted to be with the Cardinals, apparently. So now he's had his chance. Here he is. So they got him for another 3 years. So, hey, Cards, good luck. Now, one of the big topics on my mind right now is, I like to peruse through a lot of articles, come across, some interesting aspects, interesting thoughts. I'm always a big fan of like mock drafts, stuff like that. And so when someone writes an article that is like, big time trades that are possible, or possible signings, possible fits for certain teams, it kind of catches my attention. I like to read stuff like that, see what their opinion is, and just kind of go from there, see whether they're viable or what. So one of the ones I came across were 6 blockbuster trades that could happen at the winter meetings. Possibilities and all that by Anthony Castrovance, who's a very well known and respected beat writer for MLB.com. It was really interesting. He had one of the trades that came up was the Blue Jays and the Mets. Swapping first baseman. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. going to New York with Pete Alonso coming over to Toronto, along with, what was his name? Oh, yeah, Jeff McNeil, Alek Manoah, the pitcher, one of the big pitchers for Toronto, going back to New York as well. Kind of interesting. If they want to try to shed money in this, because they're, they don't know whether, Pete Alonso is really going to come through with anything. Honestly, I mean, I know this is just Anthony's thing. This is his deal. He's just spitballing. He's just throwing something out there. It's like, hey, what if this works? What if this works? What if this works? Okay, that's understandable. I don't know where he would really go with this one. I don't quite get it, to be honest with you. It didn't really make any sense to me, even reading his reasoning for it. See, another one that I thought was kind of interesting is another one of the big talks of the offseason right now is the Padres and Juan Soto. Who's he go to? Who trades for him and all this? Personally, I gotta say, I wouldn't trade Juan Soto, to be honest with you. He really kind of fits with the Padres. He fits with their brand. He fits with their way of playing. He's just that kind of guy. Now, grant you, it's gonna be hard to sign him because the Padres already have a ton of money, put into other guys. To be honest with you, if you had to trade anybody, I would trade Manny Machado. Personally, you still get the same amount for him. He has a lot longer control for anybody who's interested. He can bring back a nice haul for you. You can use the money you saved from you know from him to pay Juan Soto, and now you got your star outfielder. I would just go from there. That's my personal thought process, because you can replace Manny Machado a little bit easier. You can put Ha-Seong Kim over there on third base. Xander Bogaerts stays at shortstop. I personally would move Cronenworth back to second base. I don't think he's much of a first baseman, to be honest with you. His glove plays better over at second base anyway. In this particular case, I would bring in a guy who really kind of made a name for himself in Anaheim, to be honest with you. Jared Walsh right now is a free agent because of because he had some issues the last couple of seasons. He had the thoracic outlet thing that kind of ruined his 2022 season, and then this past season, that neurological thing that really kind of screwed him up, really messed with his offense. He's still a viable player. If all that stuff's behind him, he's still a great ball player. He's an excellent defender over at first base. And, again, as long as he's put all that stuff behind him, he's a 275, 280 hitter who can probably provide you 25 plus home runs a season, especially that plays up in Petco Park. That kind of left-handed pop, I'd go for it. He's not going to cost you much. Just something to think about. Just something to throw out there. Now, the big one that really caught my attention was Mike Trout going home. Mike Trout goes home, plays for Philadelphia. And in return, the Angels get Nick Castellanos and Justin Crawford, who's a young outfielder. The name sounds familiar. Carl Crawford is his dad. Carl Crawford played for... I don't really recall how long he played, but he really made his name with Tampa Bay. He was really good with Tampa Bay. Everyone suspected that he would go to the Angels in free agency. He wound up going to Boston instead. And man, did he flounder big time. I don't know whether this is Anthony's thought process. It's like Carl Crawford should have gone to the Angels. I think his son deserves to go to the Angels too. Perhaps. But if you're going to trade one of our best, if Shohei leaves, our only great player at this point in time, our superstar, first of all, I know he's been hurt, but you can still get a better haul for him than just two players. And another question, why are you bringing back two outfielders? The Angels are in need of a frontline starter. I don't think that maybe Andrew Painter would be a better choice. Personally, I think so. Even if it has to be a one-on-one swap. Andrew Painter is probably the best way to go, because the Angels don't have that number one guy right now, unless Shohei resigns. Because, if you take a look at the Angels' rotation right now, you got, who's the only guy who's been ahead of a rotation? Tyler Anderson. He's not ahead of rotation right now. His numbers last year, I don't think so. I wouldn't put him ahead of my rotation. Patrick Sandoval's a great number two. If he works out all the kinks, he's a great number two, especially if he throws that changeup more often. He's relied way too much on that fastball slider, not enough on his changeup. He's got a great changeup. He really should throw it a lot more. This is just my opinion. So, again, I'm not a coach. I'm not a manager. I'm not a general manager. What do I know? Just kind of throwing things out there. But, the fact of the matter is, it just... You don't have a head of a rotation. You don't have a number one guy. You have a couple of viable twos. Chase Silsa, I think he can be a viable number two. But again, not a number one. Reed Detmers, not a number one. He's number three, easy. Tops, actually. Griffin Canning, same thing. Yeah, you got a bunch of threes, fours, and fives, a couple of number twos. No viable number one. No real number one guy. And Andrew Painter would actually provide that kind of stuff for the Angels to, have ahead of a rotation, someone to really kind of give the ball to at the beginning of the season, and then every 5 days after that, provided Shohei, leaves. And he'd be your go-to guy every 5 games. Again, if Shohei comes back, then he's your ace no matter what. He's your number one guy. He's not going to pitch in 2024, but still, he's going to be your number one guy. I mean, grant you bringing in somebody who could be your 1B, you have two number ones. You'll have Shohei, you'll have Andrew Painter. I think that works really well. Nice 1-2 punch, followed by like Sandoval or Silfus, and then so on and so forth. Detmers, Anderson. Personally, I'd trade Anderson, see what we can get for him. But that's me. I think he still brings great value. He pitched really good with the Dodgers before he came to the Angels. Dodgers need some pitching. Hey, you want him back? Take him. He pitched better for you. We can use something better in our table, so we'll take this guy, maybe. Kind of see where things go from there. Again, that's just my opinion. I don't really say any of this to be malicious to Anthony Castrovance. He's a great guy, and a really nice guy. I met him once a few years ago when they had the winter meetings in San Diego, and he was a really nice guy, really helpful. I mean absolutely no malice by any of this. I just kind of food for thought. If by chance he sees this, I really don't know. With that, I think I'll let things go. I will touch base with everyone after the winter meetings are over. I'll have a lot more to say, a lot more to go on, and we'll see where things go. Angels, Shohei, get him now, please. Trust me, we need him. All right, y'all, take her easy. Bye.